I always throw that creak in the microphone. It's kind of neat, isn't it? Springtime. It is springtime now, and a beautiful morning this morning. Notice that it's coming down here from Madison. Such a wonderful time of year. The earth shakes the coldness of winter and awakens with the dawn of a new age of growth and of vitality and of anticipation. For new life springs forth from the seeds planted by nature and by man, in the fertile ground being warmed every day by the sun. And everywhere things are evolving with hope, with awareness, and with love, and with gratitude. And I thought, what a wonderful message today, at this time of year, and for this church, love and gratitude. For we all evolve. We all evolve from a child to a young adult, to a full-grown adult. For this is the physical part of us that evolves, not the spiritual part, not the inner part of us, that is the God spark that resides in each and every one of us. I truly love this time of year. I cherish all that it brings and all that it inspires. And I find myself grateful for the everyday, simplest things in life. Just a hug, a look on the face when you give without asking, a thank you for an event of long ago. To love and to cherish. So, such great and inspirational words. To love and to cherish. Some of us are aware of these words. We've heard them many times when we attend weddings. To have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse. For richer, for poorer. And in sickness and in health. The word cherish is from the French, cher, meaning dear. To keep fondly in the mind, such as I cherish the thought. I cherish the memory. I cherish all of you. The natural law of love is the creative source and power of all life, which lifts the heart and the soul to the greatest heights of spiritual awareness. And as human beings, we are meant to love and to cherish everyone and everything. So I started thinking, well, there are three that I see kinds of love. There's the instinctual or the chemical. Think of those days as teenagers with their aging hormones of many few years back. There's the emotional kind, the romantic love, the love that is the reason why people marry each other. Or the adventurous type, often so many experiences, very short-lived. It reminded me of that story a while back of the young lady who was fast asleep and all of a sudden the phone rang. And her husband woke up, went to answer the phone, and she hears from the other room, well, how the heck should I know? That's 1,000 miles away. He barked into the phone and he slammed down the receiver. Well, who was that, dear? She asked. I have no idea, he said. Somebody wanted to know if the coast was clear. But then there's a conscious love, the pure love, the love that lasts. One cannot achieve the higher levels of consciousness except through the law of love. For real love is the love of selflessness, the love that seeks nothing in return, nothing for itself. It's the highest form. It embraces the whole of humanity. And we demonstrate this love when we place the needs and concerns of others before ourselves. The law of love is a constructive force of all forces. It is the highest of the vibrations. And as spiritualists, we are called to follow this law of love. For love is divine. To forgive is divine. It's the law of forgiveness. And when you practice forgiveness, you are demonstrating that you have raised your own vibration of love. You no longer hold malice for a negative deed another has committed against you. You are practicing the golden rule, as we just recited moments ago, as our sixth principle. And in turn, you are creating a true sisterhood and brotherhood. Love and gratitude is the answer for opening the door to a better you. Develop the practice of giving a smile to everyone you pass each day. It's a signal that little beams of love are coming from you, of being grateful and expressing that gratefulness with an act of kindness. So nobody can resist a smile. For the ear to think that you are kind and gentle, and they'll smile back. Or they'll wonder what you're up to, and have what you've done, and they'll smile back thinking of all the things that might have been. Reach for harmony as it is pure love, for love is complete agreement, so relax and glow with the flow. The law of vibration is a part of the law of harmony, which is the highest vibration, known as love. For where there is love, there is harmony, and where there is harmony, there is peace. And it's been said that if individually we can achieve a state of peace within ourselves, collectively we can change the world. The Dalai Lama had said, the greatest obstacles to inner peace are disturbing emotions, such as anger, fear, and suspicion, while love and compassion and a sense of universal responsibility are sources of peace and happiness. And St. Francis, which we just sang was prayer, prayed in the 13th century, where there is hatred, let me sow love. Our souls are ever in the process of making changes. So as we practice the law of love, it assists in our soul's unfoldment. We make a daily practice of making affirmations to get you through the day. A word or a sentence will suffice, such as, I am at peace. I am happy. I am loving. We love many things. We love food, we love art, nature, people. We love as lovers, our children loving our mother and a father. We love our grandparents, we love our sisters and brothers, for the most part. We love those here and those who have passed in spirit. There are all of those who love ones in spirit who are so anxious to communicate with us, and sometimes they just want to hear from us. So talk to them and tell them you love them. Perhaps if you could speak these words from a familiar song sung not too long ago. I'm not going to tell you what the song is just yet, but the words will let you know shortly. It's a romantic love song, but speaks lovingly to all of our loved ones in spirit as well. So what I'm suggesting is you speak these words to someone in spirit tonight, just before you go to bed. Maybe someone you've been forgetting. They may have been out of your thoughts for some time and may have raised many memories of them. And they're anxious to hear from you. And they have so much to tell you. And they truly miss hearing from you. But they're still waiting. And they're waiting to hear from you and look forward to being with you again. One further note, I notice in these words, there's the word darling in the song, which is from an actual Saxon word meaning dear, as dear ones are waiting. Perhaps they are singing this song to you, and you have not yet been listening. So it's time to tell them you are listening and that you love them now. Well, those words from that song go, have I told you lately that I love you? Could you tell once again somehow? Have I said with all my heart and soul how I adore you? Well, darling, I'm telling you now. Very good, popular song from Rod Stewart. There's another type of love that only gratitude can express. For it was gratitude that prompted an old man to visit an old broken pier on the eastern coast of Florida some time back. And every Friday night until his passing in 1973, he would return, walking slowly and slightly stooped with a large bucket of shrimp. The seagulls would flock to this old man and he would feed them from the bucket. Received many years ago, in October 1942, Captain Eddie Rickenbacker was on a mission in a B-17 to deliver an important message to General MacArthur in New Guinea. But there was an unexpected detour which would hurl Captain Eddie into the most harrowing adventure of his life. For somewhere over the South Pacific, the Flying Fortress became lost and out of reach of radio. The fuel ran dangerously low, so the men ditched the plane in the ocean. For nearly a month, Captain Eddie and his crew would fight the weather, the water, and the scorching sun. They spent many sleepless nights recoiling as giant sharks rammed their life raft. The life raft was 9 by 5. The biggest shark over 10 feet. But of all their enemies at sea, the one that proved the most formidable was starvation. 8 days out, their rations were longer gone and were destroyed by seawater. It would take a miracle to sustain them. And yet a miracle occurred. According to Captain Eddie's own words, Cherry, that was the B-17 pilot, Captain William Cherry. Cherry, Captain Rickenbacker said, read the service that afternoon and finish with a prayer for deliverance and a hymn of praise. There was some talk and it tapered off in the oppressive heat. So with his hat pulled down over his eyes to keep out the glare of the sun, Captain Rickenbacker dozed off. Now, as Captain Eddie Rickenbacker relates again, he says, something landed on my head. I knew it was a seagull. I don't know how I knew, I just knew. Everybody else knew too. No one said a word, but peering out from under his hat brim and about moving his head, he could see the expression on their faces. They were staring at the seagull. For you see, that seagull meant food, and it meant life. And if they could catch it, well, the rest is history. Captain Eddie caught the gull. Its flesh was eaten, its intestines were used for bait to catch fish. And the survivors were sustained and their hopes renewed because of a lone seagull, uncharacteristically hundreds of miles from land, offering itself as a sacrifice. You all know Captain Eddie made it. And now you also know that he never forgot. Because every Friday evening at sunset, on that lonely stretch in that eastern Florida seacoast, you could see an old man walking, white-haired, bushy eyebrows, slightly bent. His bucket filled with shrimp was to feed the gulls and to remember that one which, on one day long past, gave itself up without a struggle, like manna in the wilderness. A message from Spirit. Be grateful for those around you and show the gratitude to Spirit for all Spirit brings to you each and every day. Give of your efforts and of your time and spend a moment each day, each week, to remember and never forget that love of life and of each other Spirit has given to you. I thank you, and may the love of Spirit fill your hearts.